Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à Learn French by SUCHITA. Je m'appelle SUCHITA, votre enseignante de la langue française, et dans cette vidéo, on va apprendre les verbes pronominaux, deuxième partie. Before we begin with this video, I would like to introduce you to my website www.learnfrenchbysuchita.com, where you will find recorded courses for all your French language needs. We have courses for DELF A1, DELF A2, DELF B1, TEF TCF recorded course, French phonetics as well. We have special courses for our school students ranging from grade 5 to grade 8. We also have courses for university students who are enrolled in certificate course or diploma course in Delhi University. And finally, we also have courses for our school students who are aiming to appear for their DELF Prem or DELF Junior examinations. So hurry up and check it out. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. And in this video, we are going to learn les verbes pronominaux, what is the use of the pronominal verbs, and it is the second part of this series. I'm dropping the link in the card above for the first part of this series. Just watch that video first and then come back here again. So in the first part of the video, we learned what are pronominal verbs, how do you identify them. So the pronominal verbs are the verbs which begin with se. Se réveiller, se doucher, se laver, se lever, se doucher. All these are pronominal verbs. Then we learned how do you conjugate the pronominal verbs. So I would request that you watch the first part of the video and then you come back here again. Now in this video, we are going to learn what are pronominal verbs, in the sense that how are they different from the normal verbs and where exactly do you use them. So as I told you in the first part of the video that pronominal verbs can exist as standalone verbs as well. Like for example, if I say the verb se coucher, doesn't mean that the verb coucher cannot exist. Se coucher is also perfectly fine, coucher is also fine. Se réveiller is also okay, réveiller is also okay. S'appeler is also okay, appeler is also okay. But what is the difference between the two verbs? Where do you use the verb se coucher and where do you use the verb coucher? Where do you use the verb s'appeler and where do you use the verb appeler? That we are going to learn in this video. Okay, so you have various usages of the pronominal verbs, but in this video we are going to learn the first usage of the pronominal verb, and that is on les utilise pour exprimer les actions réflexives. So we use pronominal verbs to reflect, to express the actions which are reflexive actions. Now what are reflexive action? Reflexive, it comes from the word reflection. So when the reflection of the action, or I should say the verb, is on the subject, then you use the pronominal version of the verb. For example, I'll explain this thing in another format. When the effect of the verb is on the subject, then you use the pronominal version of the verb, and when the effect of the verb is on the object, then you use the normal version of the verb. Par exemple, coucher, se coucher. So you have two options and you have two sentences. Now we'll figure it out where to use the verb se coucher and where to use the verb coucher. Alors, par exemple, je à 9 heures du soir. So now you have two options, coucher and se coucher, both means to lie down. So I lie down at 9 o'clock of the evening. So here the effect of lying down is on what? Who is exactly lying down? It's je. It's me who is lying down. So you will use the pronominal version of the verb. Why? Because the reflection of the verb is on the subject. That is why it is known as les actions réflexives. Alors, je me couche. Je me couche à 9 heures du soir. Now, je mes enfants à 9 heures du soir. I make my children lie down at 9 o'clock of the evening. So it's not me who is lying down. I am making my children lie down at 9 o'clock of the evening. So the effect of the verb is not on the subject. It is on the object, which is mes enfants. Alors là, vous allez utiliser le verbe coucher. pas se coucher. Vous allez dire, je couche mes enfants. Because the effect of the verb, the reflection of the verb is not on the subject. It is on the object. Je couche mes enfants à 9 heures du soir. Alors, deuxième exemple, là, c'est réveiller ou se réveiller. Réveiller ou se réveiller, both of them means to wake up. Again, tu, ta mère à 6 heures du matin. You wake up your mother at 6 o'clock of the morning. So, the effect of the verb is on the object, which is la mère. You are not waking up. You're waking up your mother at 6 o'clock of the morning. Alors là, vous allez utiliser le verbe réveiller, not the pronominal version. Tu réveilles ta mère à 6 heures du matin. Tu, à 6 heures du matin. Now, you wake up at 6 o'clock of the morning. So, the reflection of the action of the verb is on the subject because it's you who's waking up. You're not waking up somebody else. You yourself are waking up. Hence, you will use the pronominal version of the verb, which is tu te réveilles à 6 heures du matin. Now, the third example that I have is se préparer et préparer. Préparer means to prepare. Se préparer means to prepare oneself. Now, je, pour aller au bureau. I, to prepare for going to the office. So, what would you say? You will say, I prepare or I prepare myself. Of course, you will say, I prepare myself. That means either maybe you're checking up your bag or maybe you're getting dressed up. So, you're preparing yourself to go to the office. Alors, je me prépare. Again, the reflection of or the effect of preparing is on the subject, which is je. Là, vous allez utiliser je me prépare pour aller au bureau. Je, le petit-déjeuner. I prepare the breakfast. Here, the effect of preparing is on what? What are you preparing? In the previous example, you were preparing yourself. Here, you are preparing the breakfast. So, the effect of preparing is on the breakfast. Je prépare le petit-déjeuner. The fourth example is se regarder et regarder. Regarder means to watch. Se regarder is to watch oneself. Je des films. So I watch the films. So the effect of watching is on the films. Là, vous allez utiliser je regarde des films and I watch in the mirror. Whom do you watch in the mirror? If you're watching something else in the mirror or someone else in the mirror, then you will use the verb regarder. But if you're watching yourself in the mirror, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, là vous allez utiliser le verbe pronominal. Je me regarde dans le miroir, which means I look at myself in the mirror. Again, the reflection of watching or looking at is on the subject, which is I. Now, the fifth example that we have is the verb appeler or s'appeler. Now, appeler means to call, s'appeler means to call oneself. Now, here I've written 3 examples. I'll tell you the last one later on, why have I written it twice. So, let's look at the first example. Je, Christophe. So, I call myself Christophe. That means I'm telling my name. Je m'appelle SUCHITA. Je m'appelle Christophe. Comment tu t'appelles? So, je m'appelle Christophe. I call myself Christophe. So, the effect of calling is on the subject itself, which is je. Alors, je m'appelle Christophe. Next, je, mon père. I call my father. So, maybe I'm calling my father on phone. Or maybe I'm calling my father physically. So, je, mon père. So, the effect of calling is not on me. It is on the father. Alors là, vous allez utiliser le verbe appeler et pas s'appeler. Alors, j'appelle mon père. Now here I've written the third example, which is je, Christophe. Here, even if you use the normal verb which is appeler, then also it is correct. J'appelle Christophe. But there is a difference in terms of meaning in je m'appelle Christophe and j'appelle Christophe. Je m'appelle Christophe, that means I am the one who is Christophe. I call myself Christophe. Like I can say je m'appelle SUCHITA. That means I call myself SUCHITA. But I cannot say j'appelle SUCHITA. I mean, that would mean I call SUCHITA. J'appelle Christophe, that means I call Christophe. Then Christophe is not the one who is I. I is somebody else. Like for example, I am somebody else and Christophe is somebody else. So I can say j'appelle Christophe. I call Christophe. So the effect of calling is not on me. It is on Christophe. Whereas here I'm telling the name of the person. I am the one who is Christophe. So I say je m'appelle Christophe. Like for example, I can say je m'appelle SUCHITA. I call myself SUCHITA because I am SUCHITA. And if somebody else says, he or she can say j'appelle SUCHITA, because that means je is somebody else and SUCHITA is somebody else. Here there are two different people. Here there are two same people. So here I have a small exercise for you, for which I am not going to tell you the answers in the video. You will find the answers in the description box below. Alors, lui, réveille ou se réveille? Les enfants après sa douche. Deuxième partie. Amina, lève ou se lève avant 7 heures. Troisième partie. Christophe, prépare ou se prépare avant de prendre son petit-déjeuner. Quatrième partie, Violette, habille ou s'habille? Les enfants dans leur chambre. Cinquième partie, Jeanine, promène ou se promène son chien. Hélène, couche ou se couche toujours après le déjeuner. So you will find the answers for all these in the description box below. And in this video, we have learned the first usage of the pronominal verbs, that is, les actions réflexives, which means the reflexive actions.